All right, so here's the plan. I have some Gammo match 7.56 wad cutters, and so I'm going to use a consistent pellet here, and I have that Buck-Rail Systems LDC, we'll call it for the sake of the video. There's an LDC on the end here, and I have this Crosman 1377, obviously, that you're already aware of, and I have a microphone here. I'm using it to speak right now, but I think to deal with the loud furnace that's in the background, which is going to be running for a long time. It's 20 below out right now, Fahrenheit, and so it's not going to turn off for many, many hours. I think what I'll do is I'll just take my mic off and I'll place it down right at the muzzle, like right there, and that'll give you an idea of with the can on and off. And I'll just do 3 shots each, just so you get an idea of what it's like. I'm telling you, this is the most effective LDC I've ever used on any sort of pellet rifle ever. It's outrageously quiet. I'm at 5 pumps right now, if you're curious, and you'll see there's a significant difference. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the mic down there now. And one more. It's funny, the first time I had this can on, I just shot it into some distance, like 100 yards away, and I didn't hear it leave. I didn't hear it impact. All I heard was the click, and I thought I had a stovepipe or something, or not a stovepipe, but I thought I had multiple pellets jammed in there. And I didn't. There were no pellets in there. It shot just fine. It was just so quiet that it was shocking, actually. So obviously the sound of the impact downrange is 10 times louder than what's actually coming out of the gun. There's almost nothing coming out of the gun. I would say it's definitely like top tier PCP quiet. Some of the better, more quiet PCPs. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. It's a tight fit. There we go. Be careful not to cross thread that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you put it back on, because it's, you know, it's polymer or 3D printed material. All right, with no can, check out this sound difference here. I'm just surprised that a multi-pump can even be that loud. First of all, it is snappy, it's noisy. It's got more power than people would think. And sometimes these wad cutters don't fit very nice with this new steel breech. I gotta mess around and tinker with that a little more, but accuracy-wise or precision-wise, it's very consistent. The group is the same hole down there at 25, 26 yards. Last one. Pretty snappy. I'm telling you, it's 10 times as loud easily without the little LDC on the end. Very effective. I'm liking it, man. That thing is tiny. It's a tiny package. All right, so it's a cool tiny package. You know, you can make this thing really, really small. If you crunch it all the way down on the buffer like that, you could definitely put a smaller stock on there. It doesn't have to be like, this is a Fab Defense stock. It doesn't have to be anything like that, obviously, but I kind of prefer it. It's a heavy stock. This is a small package, though. If you were to take this off and just put on a regular, like even a pistol brace, you know, a pistol brace, this whole thing is very light and very small outside of the SWFA optic on there. The thing is, I actually think it shoots a little better with the LDC on there. Now, normally that wouldn't make any sense to me because harmonically, like, what's going on here? It's just a piece of plastic and it's pellets and it's a steel breech, so the barrel shouldn't have a whole lot of harmonic signature, you know, built into that. But I think what's going on is it's something to do with the air pressure. It just seems to shoot a little tighter when it's got that on there. So I can just go ahead and say about buck rail systems, this is super cool. The attachment feature that it goes on so you can take it on and off is pretty necessary, especially if you're trying to pack it down really small and get it into a backpack. I'd say the steel breech was the first thing I should have gone with. This little feature here, I'll throw a flashlight on this guy, but this barrel mount, if you don't have the steel breech, this barrel mount is purposeless, and in fact it kind of slides around a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of that. The breech itself, the steel breech, it doesn't go far enough forward, so I needed a cantilever device to make it, you know, functional. Otherwise I'm going to be hanging out over the back, right over the loading port here. If you like iron sights, I suppose you could get a real tall iron sight, but it's not going to match up with the front. For me, I like having a card reader on it, or a data dope card holder. Don't forget about getting a bubble level. You'll need a bubble level. The buffer tube, you know, device here from Buck Rail is real high quality. Nothing about that to complain about. It works very, very well. I think it's smooth enough. You know, if you wanted to go back further with an optic or do something a little more unique, you easily could. There's plenty of room on there. But as far as the things I'm doing with it, the relief I need, you know, I already have a bunch of extra length of pull built into this, or I can lift up the face. So just makes it more usable having the buffer on there. I don't think I have much else to say about it so far. I'll show you some precision results later, you know, at longer range, 50, 75 yards. But so far at 25 yards, it's same hole groups with those Gammo match pellets. Pretty happy with it, real happy with the trigger. Nothing other than feeding, a little bit of feeding issue, especially with wad cutters, is a problem so far. I'm just pretty content. I'm impressed that this pistol can do it. Granted, there's plenty of money going into it. A lot of guys will say that this is the most expensive cheap pistol you'll ever buy, and that's probably true. But so far, I think it's been worth the money. It's fun. It's more accurate than most other multi-pumps that you're going to get out there, or brake barrels for that matter, so far. And you can do a lot with it, which is really neat. See what else I can do in the months to come. Thanks guys for checking out the channel.